Hello again, traveler. It is good to see you again. I'm so glad you decided to come back. I hear that you would like another story. What kind of story would you like to hear? Oh, I see. That is a very old story from an even older soul. To find this story, we have to go to where the stories of old are kept. Here we are. This place holds many of the ancient stories that only time and I remember. The story you are looking for, it's right here. This is the old god's favorite story to tell. He would tell everyone and anyone who would listen, and those who would ask, he would show them the place where it happened. Long, long ago, long before even this old god walked the world, a king was consumed by greed. The greed and hunger for more power killed him and his people. His whole kingdom was consumed by water, drowning all that lived in it. The king fled to his lair where he sat on his throne of nothing and eventually died on it. But this story starts long after that king fell. This old god was followed by crows and other birds wherever he goes. He understands what they say and speaks with them almost every day. One day he traveled to a realm called the End. He had gone to this realm to gather some items for something he was building. He went to the top of the kingdom and looked in a direction. He spread his wings and flew toward the End Islands. As he was flying with the crows following him, he heard a sound that he had not heard in a very long time. He looked to his side and saw them. Their wings beat hard and their roars pierced the silence of the End Realm. 2 Ender dragons were flying to his side, and he knew exactly where they were headed. The kingdom of Endlantis. He knew that he needed to get back there fast. He shot off faster than the dragons could fly to get back to the kingdom. When he arrived, he headed to the tomb of the old king. There stood either side 2 End crystals. They were said to have healing powers for the dragons. He removed them and looked around the kingdom for things he needed to fight for Endlantis, including saving a fish named Milo. He knew he had to try and stop them before they reached the kingdom. He went to the top of the kingdom, took one last look at Endlantis, and shot off towards the dragons. He reached them once more, watching as the lead dragon made its way to the glass wall of Endlantis. It broke through and flew straight through the End City portal and was sent back to where it started. The old god knew that this was a stroke of luck on his side. He went back to where the portal had spat out the dragon and begun the battle. He shot at the dragon, over and over again. Each shot that landed slowed the dragon down, but it was determined to get back to the kingdom and destroy it. They both were flying over the void, and if either were to stop, they would be consumed by the darkness. This time, the dragon saw the End City portal as it approached the glass walls and adjusted its course. It smashed through the walls once more, sending glass and water spilling out into the void. The old god flew down into the submerged kingdom, bow still drawn and firing at the dragon. The dragon flew down towards the tomb of the dead king, roaring as it destroyed what lay in its path. It started to destroy the throne room, groaning and roaring as it broke the ground of the kingdom. Still firing shots, the old god followed its path. It started to destroy the parts that the old god had built in the kingdom. But with the crushing water, the piercing arrows, and the fury of the old god, the first dragon was slain. It had caused great damage to the old and new parts of the kingdom, but the old god knew that it wasn't over just yet. There was another dragon heading over to destroy the kingdom. The old god spoke to his flock of birds and assessed the damages. Once collecting the items ripped apart from the first dragon, he flew once more towards the second one. He wasted no time with this one and started to fire shots. The dragon roared and was beating its wings as hard and fast as it could. It was going to try to get to that kingdom, even if it was the last thing that dragon was going to do. The old god didn't stop firing at the dragon, and soon the broken glass walls became visible once again. The dragon was just about to reach the walls when the last shot was fired and pierced the dragon's head. It screamed out its last breath and fell into the void to be consumed by the darkness. The old god and his birds celebrated this amazing victory. "Get out of my Endlantis! This is my house!" he exclaimed, and then sighed out a deep breath that he seemed to be holding on to the entire battle. "This is my end realm, my realm." He and the crows celebrated and repaired the flooded kingdom, but left some scars to remind them and the visitors of the realm what happened that fateful day. That is the favorite tale of the old god known as Philza Minecraft. There are many stories here about him and the worlds that he has been a part of. What are the other old stories of this place? Well, young one, that will have to be for another time. And remember, all is well and will be well, no matter how dark the pages may get. And remember, if the ending isn't what you wanted, you can always start a new book, a new story, a new life. Safe travels.